So, by now you should have done all the notes for points, lines, and planes. So I just want to tell you a few things to, I guess, to help you to understand what you should have in your notes, what's important and whatnot. So here it is. You need to have, of course, the definitions, which most of you did, but you got to have pictures. You need to know what each of these things look like. What does a point, line, and plane look like, right? If you look in your room right now, what are some things that could be represented by points, lines, and planes? Because in our reality, everything can be represented by points, lines, and planes. So you need to be able to look at things that are around you and say, oh yeah, that could be a point, or that could be a line, or that could be a plane, you know. Planes come in many shapes and forms. You started learning about planes when you were a little kid. Yeah, you see those shapes? All right. Very important. You need to know how to name points and lines and planes correctly. Points and lines are pretty simple. However, planes can be tricky. So you need to make sure you know all the tricks to naming each of these three things. Points, lines, and planes are known as undefined terms because they are what they are, and there's no, gangster definitions for them. That's just, they are what they are. And you can use these to help define other words. All right. So yeah, I have a lot of cool stuff on here. Don't get too hung up on what you're looking at. Make sure you're understanding that they're trying to be artistic and display things in such a way so you can see from a more three-dimensional perspective than two-dimensional. Every question that is on this PowerPoint, you should be able to answer if you took good notes. Don't forget the collinear and non-collinear. Don't forget the coplanar and non-coplanar. Don't forget to answer these questions based on the diagrams on the slide. You should be able to do that. If you're not, then you need to look back at the slides and you need to make sure you have the notes with all the information that are important for you to be able to understand what we're going to be talking about next week. Anywhere you see a blank, you need to make sure you have that filled in with proper words, because we will kind of go over that and then we're going to keep it moving. You need to know what happens when points, lines, and planes intersect. Points don't really intersect, but lines and planes do. Okay, I had to have diagrams to help you answer these questions. You will probably get a quizzes, and probably a Quizlet. So you should have all the notes that you were supposed to have last week, as well as the notes that come after the notes you were supposed to have last week, line segments, and so on. Okay? Make sure you have all the notes. Midpoint, you need to know what congruent is. You need to know some of the formulas. We will be going over that next class about congruent segments. Also, distance between points. You need to know what some of those things mean, like absolute value. What does that mean? I don't know, Mr. Haley. You need to tell me. You're the teacher. Guess what? You gotta learn how to teach yourself. All right? So there will be some additional information past the Thursday mark. You need to have all that ready for when I see you on Monday. All right.